Welcome back, everyone, to our first Monday call of January of 2026. I don't know if you can all unmute yourself because I'm going to be asking you. 2026 to me it's only day 5, and I feel like I'm been in a tornado or something like a whirlwind of a life. I always say taking the Y in the road. I've taken the Y and it's like a catapult. So that's where I'm at now with in my mind at January 5th at 5:07 p.m. Pacific. And I just am, getting together. Qatar kind of came into my life, and some of you who have met her personally came into your life like 2 months ago, has shifted my energy. And I don't, the girls and all that, but I wanted her to come on and just, for those of you who haven't met her too, I want to bring that questions. We did a podcast, with the girls. It'll go out tomorrow. And I shared it with most of you anyway. So you probably already listened to it. If not, it will be out tomorrow. But, you know, I guess the word energy probably has never meant what it means to me now since I've met her. And that when you realize that everything is energy and you see your family reacting to the energy, that is my biggest shift is understanding more so. I've always known and all of us, I mean, I'm looking at every one of you, we all know that. But I guess my revelation in the last couple months is understanding cutting cords and energy and looking at life in that way has really shifted me and my family. And it's amazing. And I keep seeing Jackie and Carol nodding your heads. I know you were one of the first people that reached out and had an experience. Could you unmute yourself and share a little bit of what you've experienced or what 2026 is looking at for you?
Um, well, hello everyone. Yes, and thank you. 2026 is looking fantastic. I've got such a wonderful feeling about it, a hopefulness, optimistic. Closing out 2025, I'm glad to say goodbye to it. After meeting you, Ashley, and Qatar, basically, together, I felt like I was such a negative space. And now I feel more positive. I feel lighter and just um, having some experiences, and especially with the necklace, the pendant that I received the day before I received it, I had just an awful day at work, and it was just I was in such a negative space and I had a big pity party. And then I received the pendant from Qatar and put it on and felt the energy immediately and shifted. And I became calmer, more grounded, and really felt the true I am, and have worn it since then. And whenever I feel like I'm getting unsettled, I just go back to the pendant and it just helps me to recenter myself. It's a great reminder. And I'm excited to see how much more 2026 brings.
It's amazing. Carol?
For me, it has helped me be more consistent with my energy management. I was always conscious of it in my work with clients and how I impact others.
Will you explain what you do? Because it's very unique and amazing.
So it's called neuro movement, and I work with people of all ages, but primarily kids with special needs and helping them to learn how to move and how to be themselves, their best selves, really. And my interaction with the parents has changed with working with Qatar and her helping me understand how much more I can do from the energetic level.
I love it. Did you have to cut cords?
Oh, yes. Daily.
That's funny.
Just not umbilical ones.
Yeah, right.
Literal.
Oh, I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Wendy, do you want to share? I'm looking at the people that have I know have connected with me that have been impacted first.
Yeah, sure, I can try. Um, it's like I don't it is it's a lot because I mean, you know everything about me, but to go from kind of this past few months, just so much scattered energy and always thinking that we found the next great person and everything. And then when you told me about Qatar, like you're just like, I just know it. This is who you have to meet. And then I met her and just so much has shifted since then. It's like that's the word I have to use is shift because um like I'm a lot of my external stuff is still the same that's going on in my life, but then like who I am and my internal is just so much more grounded, shifted, like high vibrancy, able to really just start to feel like I'm becoming my I am, and I love it. And I have read the book, and then I'm going to slowly start to reread it again and really do the journal prompts and just go really slow. But I'm just really looking forward to it, and I'm gonna shut off like all the other teachers and healers that I like think I'm following and just focus on this because I feel like I'm gonna have a nice transformation from this. They just feel so much different and I'm very aligned. So I'm very thankful. And then even just when you were on your interview with the girls in Qatar, all of that energy together was beautiful. Like it just felt great. And I felt so happy to just be in all of your presence and your wisdom. So like you guys are a great team.
Oh, Wendy, when you texted me, I think it was New Year's Eve saying, and I'm saying this to everyone, and I'm sure you will all resonate. In my 6 years of podcasting, and some of you come in at the beginning, some at the middle, and some at the end. We all have these people that we resonate to. I share YouTubes to all of you. Because I text you. But it's so interesting. Wendy brought it up, and I felt the same way. She's like, it's so weird. A year ago, if I look at who I was really listening to or who you would send to me, I couldn't even do that now. And it's so when you look at that, because I feel that so strongly too, you understand how much your energy has shifted or how much you've grown and where you're at spiritually, like, and I see you, Wendy, like watching you grow over I've probably known you for 2 or 3. I mean, I feel like I've known you your whole life, but
Yeah, I think 2 years,
okay,
but I've listened to you for longer than that, so I've known you longer. But yeah,
right.
I think it's 2 years.
Okay. But just
20, no,
watching you,
yeah, 2 years, sorry. Yeah.
okay. But just watching that has been, um, even you text me that saying that was like, oh my gosh, it's so true. I love it. We're all like resonate, we're all understanding that you can have this journey that we all do, and we're all living our journey. And we listen to people, we're all wanting to grow, but then you see your growth and it just moves on to just so I love it. So that was an amazing message, and I really resonated with that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Kennedy,
Yes, hello.
let's hear your magic
Okay, well, first of all, I
2026.
I actually just realized I did not have that chronic fatigue feeling I usually feel around 3:30. I just realized that like 30 minutes ago that did not overcome me. So, I talked to Qatar a couple days ago, and yeah, we're already working on stuff, and I had more energy today actually than I have in a long time. So, and I'm just realizing it actually because I was busy, and then I was like, oh, that feeling that has come over me for the last few years, or maybe more than that, I didn't have today, so that's exciting for me. And I haven't taken a nap, so So that's good. But yeah, I'm excited for 2026. And like you were saying, uh, we've talked about this. We've been on a journey, really most of our life. And so many different people have come in, and it could be people we listen to, or people that came in our life and stuff. And there's things I think that people can teach you. It doesn't mean that that person's obviously going to always be in your life. And then I also think that, you realize that, people are people, and they also have their own wounds and traumas and cords. And sometimes that starts to come out, even, you realize that the information can come from someone. It doesn't mean that they're not wounded. And sometimes it's time to move on from them providing the information. It doesn't mean that, they didn't provide amazing information that resonated with us that we could apply. One of the things Qatar and I talked about was definitely like some deprogramming, because I am all up in my head with everyone that I've ever heard, like just psychoanalyzing like all my things that I'm doing. So we're going to work on that, and I'm really excited about it. And yeah, just I'm glad I got to spend the first day of the year with you and your girls, and that just was a great start to 2026. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
loved it. Thank you. What about you, Kim?
I was just looking for my notes from my session with Kawtar. It's been a while now. It's been like 6 weeks, and she was very helpful with some health issues that are still lingering. I need another session with Qatar. I definitely do. And I've been thinking about that. So I know I need one, but I am feeling so hopeful. I really am feeling so hopeful about 2026. Maybe, I think it's the energy and the I am. I constantly say my affirmations, I am constantly, like all day long. I am healthy, and there's something blocking, but I'm very hopeful. I go to Sweden next week, for 2 weeks, so I'm a little I guess my energy is a little swirly about that, because I'm a little nervous about the health stuff, but basically I just feel really, really hopeful, and I want to create more of that, and more energy and more positivity and more light. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm going to text you, Qatar. Probably don't have time to see me before next week, but
Do you have a word for the year, Kim, yet?
yeah, yeah.
What
I,
is
I
it?
had it in October, I think. Purpose. Live every day with purpose and live on purpose. So all of my actions are on purpose. Being kind and, just remembering to be on purpose.
Yeah, I love it. Kate, what about you? Do you have a word for the year?
No, I don't have a word.
I didn't think you did. That's why I asked you.
I know. I think for me, kind of what really is coming in is um, the physical health. So my focus this year is really going to be
Huh.
focused because before everything kind of happened for me, I was very physical, like because like my Aries energy, physicality has always been such a big part of my life. And then I injured myself, and then I just had to stop everything, right? Just to let my body heal, which was, and since then I really haven't gotten back to anything, but I'm really seeing now how when we move into this year, how important, or Kim, I'm just like listening to you and what, I don't know what you're going through, but the importance of how uh, really sacred our bodies are, our physical bodies, because it really is how we get to experience everything. So, we're out here, you want to do all the things. And I have FOMO now because I need a session with Qatar. Like, but yeah. So if I had to give a word, I would say, physicality, or if the physical. That's just, I just keep on seeing that. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That wasn't going to be, I didn't think that would come through. I love it. And it's like when I met you, you had just gotten injured and had been rowing, which
Hmm.
was our connection. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love that. Um, now all the pieces, it's like watching the Brady Bunch thing. Like I'm trying to like, Susan. You moved over to the left. Share with us. Do you have a word? I don't think you've had a session with Qatar, so I want to hear your
No,
2026.
yeah, no, I have not yet, but I can't wait. So I'm not set on my word right now, but I think it's going to be brave.
Hmm, I love it. And why?
Um, Last year my word was bold, and I felt like I really stepped into that. And I think the brave is going to be one step further to get me where I want to be. I don't know where I want to be yet, but it's momentum, steps.
I feel like bold and brave are the same thing.
Mm,
That's what just came to me. But if it resonates with you and it's one
yeah,
step further, then it's perfect.
okay. I'm working on it today. So by the end of the day, but thank you for sharing that.
Oh, so good. Diana, what about you? What is your word? Because you haven't met Qatar yet.
I haven't met Qatar yet, but I'm looking forward to this call. And I did listen to your podcast and loved it. But my word for this year is elevate.
Oh,
Mm.
Um, and I didn't have to think very long about it this year. I think maybe, did you mention your word on your podcast last week?
I said embodiment.
Okay, yeah. So I think that's when I started to think, like, what is my word? And then immediately I thought elevate, because I want to elevate everything this year. I want to elevate my energy, my frequency, my standards, my business,
Yep,
my personal life, my love, my house. I just want to
I love
elevate
it.
everything, you know? And I feel really good about 2026. There was a little hiccup on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day with Jake. My 18-year-old son, basically, he wasn't home and it was like 4:30 in the morning and he wasn't responding. Yeah. And it's not like him to do that. So long story short, we Billy went to go get him at this house where they're known to have big parties, and it was not a good New Year's Day morning.
Okay.
Like even talking about it, my heart is just like, oh. But we all went to bed. The next day we all spoke, and then I told Billy, my husband, we need to change our energy around what happened because he's okay, everything is fine, but I don't want this like negative energy like sitting
Right.
on the first day of the year, or us reflecting that back to Jake. Like, he made a mistake, he's fine. We all talked it out, we cried it out, we hashed it out, everything's fine. It was a learning lesson and good things came out of it. I really think like good things came out of it.
Always.
But thank you. But it was like a little moment of like, oh shit, it's the first day of the year and already this is
Right.
happening. And I'm like, nope, no. It was a little blip. And actually, I think it was, now looking back on it, I'm like, it's a good thing that happened and the way it happened, because it opened a whole new communication between the three of us and our expectations and all of that. So yeah, in a nutshell.
I love it. Elevate. Elevate.
Elevate.
Diana. Deb, let's hear your word or what's 2026 looking, and you haven't met Qatar yet.
No, but I've known since you texted me that I want to. And I'll definitely be contacting you, Tar. Just I needed to clear out the end of the year and get through all of that. But my word for the year is expansion, and it's about expanding. So I'm reading your book, Qatar, and I'm loving it, and I'm really thinking about the I am and how I embody that, and what I'd like to move beyond. So the expansion is moving beyond programming, moving beyond limited thinking, moving beyond the parameters that I have sort of set for myself. I want to blow those out and move so far beyond that. So it's all about expanding my thinking, expanding my creativity, expanding where I can get to. Because we are these creative beings, right? So how can I just like blow it out and create so much just because I can change the way that I think and the way I operate and my parameters. So expansion is what it's all about. And so far this year has been, so I've had one day at work and it's been like, whoa. I've had actually, it's been 2 days at work, but it's been like things that I've shown up for and done. And the response from people has been like, oh my gosh, this is so great. So and I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Like, it's the same old stuff. And their response to what I've done or put out there has just been kind of like, it's been shocking to me. So that's been really fun. And I don't know what to attribute it to, and I don't have to. It's just keep creating at that level and watch what I can do. I don't know what all I can do, but it'll be fun to see how that all expands and changes and opens things up for me. So that's what I'm interested in focusing on.
I love that. And you and Qatar have that finance right together. You have that commonality. I can't wait for you to have a one-on-one together.
I can't either. So excited. So
Carol, talk to me. Now we don't have the sunset with the background.
Yeah, I fixed it.
What is your word?
I don't have one yet, but I did do my vision board yesterday. So um, I just had several things that came to me with clarity, acceptance of things out of my control that, you know, I'm not going to worry about anymore because it's a waste of time. um, I understand more about 2025 being the year of the snake and shedding, old beliefs and everything we carried within us. So I've learned to release so much in the past year. And I'm just seeing what this year brings and where I'm going to land. So, I mean, I'm here in Florida now, but who knows? I may be back in North Carolina. I don't know.
Really? I love it.
Yeah. So,
Good.
let's see.
Thank you. My little Janet, I know you just joined and you're so sweet because you just had your call. And most of you, I think, have all met Janet. Some of you have. She's been on my podcast twice. But unmute yourself. We're talking about 2026, our word. I know I'm putting you on the spot. You haven't met Qatar yet, and like half of us haven't, so it wasn't about that. But it's just, we're kind of like just, you're like the last one to come on. But can you share maybe I don't know, anything you want to share?
Oh, thank you. I literally just had an hour and a half
I
Zoom
know.
call about 2026, but it was there to hold space for others. And thank you so much, Ashley. Hi, Wendy. My Wendy. And Qatar, I texted with you last week. So hello, everyone. I'm Janet, and I'm also a friend of Ashley's as well. And we connected, I felt like many lifetimes ago. But 2026 for me, I just turned 50 a few days ago. So half a century, half a century of wisdom in this lifetime. And I think for me, it's really of like expressing myself with true authenticity, with unapologetically of who I am. And those that are on this journey with me, it's all about authenticity. And I don't believe in competition. We're here to support one another. And really, it's about expansion and authenticity to myself and to others. So thank you, Ashley.
I love it.
I'm so happy I was able to make it.
I know. Thank you for making that extra
Thank you.
effort.
Thank you.
Oh, so sweet. I know, Veronica. Hello. You're just coming on.
Hi.
But we're catching you at the end of what 2026 means to you and what your word is for the year if you have one.
Oh my gosh, so much. I mean, so many things. But I will say my word for this year will be empowerment. I feel empowered this year. So yeah.
And I know why, Because I think
Yeah.
last year for you was such a great, amazing year.
Yeah, definitely the transition. Sorry, I'm late. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been, kind of like resting at home, recovering from the cold or whatever, this bug that everybody had, and we were traveling. So today I took the day to rest, and
Oh,
then,
good. No, you're
yeah,
good.
I was about to
You're good.
get in the
We're all,
shower, and I'm like, wait, I have a call.
yay. I'm so glad to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Qatar, I want you to come on now. Like, whatever, I want you to share your magic of your 2026, where you are. Most of everyone here, not most, a few of us have had actual individual time with you. Um, you know, I think it was the end of October that we were introduced. I mean, most of you probably have listened to our podcast, so I don't really need to go into the history of that. But, when you meet somebody, and I'm the one for all of you that if I meet somebody that is going to change your life, I'm going to text you and tell you because it's like there's no holding back. And this guitar lady is going to sit in her closet and hide. And I'm not going to let her because after I understood her magic, I had to share her with all of you beautiful sisters that I know we are all connected on such a deeper level than just sitting here on Brady Bunch. Anyway, Qatar, unmute yourself.
So, hi everyone. Thank you for being there. Well, me, I'm like, I'm not used to having so many people, like seeing so much energy. Like, um, one thing that really, I don't know who said brave.
Susan,
Susan.
where
Susan.
is she? Oh, there
Um,
she is. Susan.
okay, so okay, let me just so brave, it really did something to me when you said brave. Um, Because brave is, a lot of people think it's a high energy, but it's a very low energy. And it keeps you like on survival mode. And I never think about saying that to people. So I'm going to say it so people remember that if you are brave, you are surviving. So just remember that word needs to switch. That's it. It's just a gift, like whatever I'm giving you right now. Um, So I don't have a word. I have two words. Perfectly wounded because I had to be wounded to be where I am and what I am. In every person I work with, I find myself also and something that is healing or triggered. I see somehow my own mirror in it to heal it. So it helps me to heal. So I do get session with Qatar too, because I do talk to myself. So don't think I wake up in the morning and go like, oh, everything's positive. No, I do shifting. I think about the people that want to heal and the people that don't want to heal. And also when we move from 2025 to 2026, it's not an overnight at midnight at 31, like, whatever happened with one of the sun on the first, that was the end of 25. So every person has their own end of 25. It can be in 26. So you might have it next week, and some people have it the same day. It's really at that point cutting the cord from 2025. So whatever happened with one of your son that didn't show up. It was a big event, but it's also a blessing. I think he said that too, a grounding and realizing that everything can change and embracing also the negative to turn into positive because every negative turns into positive and finding that what is the message from what happened. So for you, the one that's your son didn't come back that night and you had to go get him, it's really that's when you shifted your 25 to 26. So everyone is different. I shifted before 2025 ended because people are like, oh, we'll talk about 20. I'm already in 2026. I didn't even want to hear about 2025. when we say, the shedding of 2025 with the snake, a lot of people are going to still have that in 2026 because it's going to become a blueprint for them. So you shed it, but you still have it all around you. So cutting the cords, super important for a lot of people. Let go of 2025 completely. And some people will shift at the end of the month with what we call it's the 21 days where really you see the year moving away. Uh, so it's very important that you find your end of the year. So it could be tonight, could be when the full moon was a couple of days ago, I think. And some people, that's when they shifted. So yeah, I learned a lot with all the people that came in my life since, I spoke with Ashley and did the podcast. I did not want to come on the podcast. I tried everything, but she kind of pulled me in. So it's kind of healing for me
It's
too.
my
I'm like, oh
fault.
my God, I don't want, can we do it the first of the year? Can we just, so it's very hard for me just to get on and to be visible. That's one of the things for me being visible this year, and not just being, present or, doing podcasts or something, but becoming visible to the people that want help or want to shift. The I Am book, Returning to Your I Am, I have it in my car. I have it next to me. I open pages every day where the energy fits me. So I use it myself because it's really years of just having to come out and say, hey, this is what happened to me and this is what I do. But also all the affirmations and everything that the control that was in my life that I had to give up to survive. Um, so I had to be sick to get sick to decide, do I live or I was always between the two. I had asthma for a long time. All of that is behind because I accepted who I am. Like returning to my I am, it was just coming out and saying like I'm here. So I've been invisible for years, and in so many ways, not just like I wanted always to be behind, like I don't want to get in front. And I was feeling also a lot of the chords, a lot of the pain of people. I learned to just like block everything and just follow. Ashley came in my life. I didn't come in her life. I think she came in my life. Like, let's make that clear. Um, and she pulled me out of, I don't know what she calls a closet. I'm still trying to
Yeah.
figure that out. But she helped me become visible. And, thank you. And if I can help anyone, some people are going to take a week, some people are going to take 2 hours, some people are going to take 2 months. So it's really amazing all the progress with the people that I worked with. From I would say Carol that sent me one of her patient, Carol and Jackie. So Carol sent me one of her patients, and today I got a text that was she was working with Leo, and the mom was telling me how much Leo changed while working with him, but how much Carol changed also. So
Oh.
it's was so amazing because I'm like, I can see that Carol changed and I see her working with Leo and Leo changed. He's, I think, 5. I think Carol, you did amazing work with him today. I saw a picture and yeah, I can see the difference. Um, so everyone, Jackie makes me laugh and, she reminds me a little of me, but yeah, I worked with Jackie too. So everybody brought something. I had a conversation, I think, with Kennedy that was 2 hours, felt like 10 minutes. So it was like, oh my God, like the timeline and the shifting, and we do a lot of timeline change, but we come back to the old timeline. So, Wendy, I learned a lot in the last months in the chaos. Your chaos brought some, and chaos is energy chaos that brought some peace that, hey, this is okay. I felt a lot of chaos in my life too, some weeks, some days, and but seeing the progress of Wendy, amazing. Like I have to say that I could see it, I can feel it. Kim, I call her the energy little bunny. I had to bring down. She was like was so high, and I was like, oh no, 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 you need to come down here. We need to to feel you. So everybody's different. Some people are gonna need disconnect, some people are gonna need you know, just rewiring, and some people deprogramming. Um, so everybody has different things. If you're ready to shift, you're gonna shift. And while you're helping yourself, you're helping your family, you're helping everyone around you, you're helping friends that you don't even know that are struggling, but by returning to your I am, you're returning to being authentic and being true and not having to tiptoe around people and not having to go, if you don't want to go to a party, instead of getting sick and saying like calling that sickness to not have to go to the party, you just say no. And you don't have to explain yourself. And I've been doing this for years at moments with some people that I would explain myself. And I'm like, why am I explaining myself? Um, so I think a lot of people, they think it's complicated. It's not that complicated. It's if you return to your I am, you stay in your I am, you look at you being authentic every day with yourself without people around you. I think it's going to just become a normal way of living, just like me. When I feel like um that I'm not in my I am, I just ground myself. And that necklace that so that is the I am pendant that Jackie talked about. It does grounding, it's for each person. It does also protection. One of the thing, that's most important thing that we don't value is protecting yourself from energies. So a lot of times you're courted not just by you, but by people just because they feel negative, they feel envious, they feel jealous. So protection is super important. So when you ground yourself, the protection comes in. You got to learn to protect yourself energy wise. Um, just like you take insurance for your car, it's the same thing. It's just energy. You have to be aware of protecting. So that's one of the things, I really want to emphasize in 2026. So if you're grounded and protected, you're gonna have less of the chaos and trauma around you from people. So anybody has any questions? I keep talking and I feel like I'm alone now.
No, I want everyone to ask questions. Who's going to ask a question? Let's go.
I was just scratching my head.
Oh, yeah, Susan, you ask a question.
Well, what I just wrote down was staying grounded and protected should be like the first thing we do in the morning, right? And probably the last thing I do before I go to bed.
So that's a good thing, but I think we do it in the morning, we forget. It happens to me all the time. Like I will get to the gym and go like, every time you're around people, you enter something, you got to ground yourself. Like anywhere you go into a mall, I mean, especially a mall for me, protection and grounding needs to be done almost every hour. It becomes part of your routine. You're driving, as soon as I get in my car, I ground myself. Because that's where accidents happen. When you're not there, you're like thinking about something else. And I do ground and protect myself right in the car. So anything you do, ground yourself so you come back to your I am. That's number one, the key number one I can tell people like you want something helpful. Grounding probably 24 hours a day. Always like being aware of your energy, being aware of people's energy, your kids' energy. Sometimes they come back from school, they're carrying something. So by grounding yourself when they enter the door, you just ground them also. So it's really grounding. It's like drinking water. Like you got to protect and ground.
Are you going to change your word from brave to something different?
Oh, I'm going to change my word.
Okay, good.
Brave is really like when you think about it, it's really like I'm being brave here. So you're not in you're really trying to survive something. And
Yeah.
it's really, but it's nice that you said it today because it was meant to come out so everybody understand that some people will say, well, you just gotta be brave, and it's no, we don't survive. We shift, we go to a different timeline, we go back to where I am, but the last thing I want someone to do is survive. Because if you're surviving, you're afraid of living.
Yeah.
And
No,
being afraid of living
exactly.
is kind of dying. So, um, yeah,
I am brave.
you're brave.
I am brave.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
don't,
you're
that doesn't need to
surviving.
be your word.
That doesn't need to be my word.
No.
That's funny. So that's all with the brave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kate has her hand raised.
Yeah, I was just wondering, and that now that I'm thinking about it, maybe you talked about it on the podcast, but when you're talking about grounding yourself every hour, protecting yourself, like, I mean, you're saying it, but in practical sense, what does it look like, or what does it feel like?
So it's exactly what it says. Like, you just go like, I'm grounding myself. I am grounded. You
So
get in the car,
you're just saying the words and
just
then
saying the word.
saying the words.
Some people is the senses. So if you can't ground yourself with the word, you go like, is it cold? Is it hot here? So you're feeling really you're gonna ground yourself with senses. So each person, I ground with everything, but some people they connect more with, cold, hot, noisy. So just saying it, I'm grounded or I am protected, I am safe. That's all you need.
Okay,
You
so
can
you're
remember
just
that. And you
speaking,
can, yeah, that's it.
speaking it out loud, and
Yeah,
just okay.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
I just didn't know if it was,
You
you
have to
hear
put
so
your,
many
No,
different
no, you
things,
don't have, no, it's
like if
really,
it's a ritual or like,
no, no,
it's
no, no, no,
gonna
no.
take 15 minutes.
No,
you got to go put your feet in the
takes two
grass.
seconds. It really takes you to say the words and it's gonna connect with your grounding right away. So yeah,
Right.
well,
The other
it's a
question
great
I had
question.
is, the person that has your necklace, is it a particular stone or what is it exactly?
Um, so it really depends. Each person, you can pick different stones depending on your personality, depending on what you need. Some of them are for success. Some of them are more, I mean, the one that they have, it's the I am is really like it's really for grounding and protection, but there's different one. It depends on what, it resonates. We can share those next time we talk. We'll have them also on the website to really what you're looking for and what is needed. In 6 months, your energy it changes again. So um the stone and sometimes they do break. So that means you're releasing and it's
Ready for
okay if they
something.
break. So it's a protection. Yeah.
Got
But
it.
great question.
Will you explain to Qatar like how you with Caroline, my Presley's little friend that skis, how you had to explain to her about protection and her how she fell and all that? Like that was a good. You're on mute, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I was
Okay.
trying to, I'm listening. Um, so with Caroline, she fell, I think, the day before her mom's birthday. So that was I think on December 12th.
Yes, good
And
memory. Wow.
yeah, she was going to a competition, but obviously she was scared of going to competition or not being good enough and all of that. And her energy just protected her and she wasn't grounded at all. So when I was talking to her and I said, we have to bring you back because she completely left her body because of that. And so she was like getting all these like kind of feeling like dizzy and all of that until we brought her back really to ground and protect. So when we were talking about the pendant, she's like, well, she told her mom like she wasn't sure she's not going to wear it. And when I had a session with her, I said, if you want to ski and be protected and also being grounded, you're gonna have to stick it somewhere on you because you have to ground yourself. So it helped her now. I had a session with her. She's a completely different person because she grounds now. She knows protection. She doesn't have to fear, and she grounds right when she gets out like skiing. That's the first thing she does is You got to ground right when you step out from the chairlift. And for her, that's important. So dependent, she's gonna be wearing it. She's like, yeah, that she after doing sessions with her, a couple, I think, she connected with and understands she needs protection.
We all need it, right?
Well, yes, but
No, I know.
yeah.
But I mean, just the way you explain it when I hear the girls talk about it and where, I mean, everybody here, like if you ever want to call me and tell me what my kids have done with this woman, my life from 2 months ago is a complete 360. And I'm not kidding you. My life, Paige's life, and Presley's life, 1,000,000%. I know, Kennedy, you want to share?
Oh, I was going to say, so I've heard some people say 360. It's like 180. You don't want to go all the way back to
Oh,
where you
it's
were.
360. You're right. 180.
We're not returning.
You're right. I'm not going back.
180. Yes,
A
just
180.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But did you want to share anything?
Oh, no, it's just this energy in this year is just, I don't know, out of this world. It's just amazing. I don't know. Things are moving and it's just I'm excited for everyone. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Diana, do you want to share anything? I just want to share. I think this whole we have what, 10 more minutes. If anyone wants to share, ask Qatar any questions.
I did have a question actually. Well, she answered the one about grounding, but what I'm hearing you say, Qatar, is like you have to be present, right? So like come
No.
into the present moment. No.
Nope. There's a big difference between being present and grounded. Grounded, you can be grounded, you ground yourself, you get into a party, you're grounded, but you're not present because it's not your crowd. Does that make sense? What you can be grounded. You ground yourself, say, I am grounded, I am grounded. So when you ground yourself, nobody can enter really your energy. When you're present, you can be present and not grounded, and be present and you're open to everyone. The only time I want someone to be present is when they're doing meditation, where they're on a walk. But when you entering somewhere where there's people, um, being present is can be kind of like a weakness and dangerous if you're not grounded. Ground yourself first. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Got it. Okay. And then you also mentioned timelines, like shifting
Yeah.
and timelines and stuff. And I'm gonna get your book, and I'm sure you talk about that, timelines.
I do talk a little bit of the timelines, but there's an unleashing your I am that comes in with the timeline. The timeline is very hard to understand for people. We change timeline all the time. So for you on the first, you change the timeline and you brought everybody in with you and you're not finding your son. You're like, you understand his timeline was different? So you shifted, he did not, he was not part of that timeline. And at one point, you're like, he's not here. And you went and brought him to your timeline and he shifted with you. And you all were on the same communication because you're like, we're in the same timeline. So when there's people that don't communicate or they argue, and I think I said that to a couple of people, people that start arguing, they're not on the same timeline.
Oh, okay. That makes so much
So if
sense.
you're arguing with somebody, you're wasting your time because you're not going to get through the. So what happens is you went and got your son.
Yeah.
You're like, he's not here in our timeline. So you all shifted and he's not there. And that happens a lot with, kids, and you have the power as a mom. It's not you didn't save him, but you just kind of like said, no, you're coming here because this is better for you. So younger they are, easier they go in timelines.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to pull them back to
It actually felt like we saved him. Like that's what it felt like.
well, that's a good thing. But the timeline is really what made your awareness. And one thing that everybody needs to remember, you cannot save someone that did not want to get saved. That's he accepted at that time. Like you can try for years to help someone and there's nothing you can do. They have to accept to be saved. Yeah.
And then my question about timelines is, so I had heard before, like when you
jump a timeline, like you're, okay, I don't know how to explain this, but recently I feel like I'm trying to remember something out of the blue and I can't grasp it. And I'm like, what is that memory? Like it feels like a memory from another lifetime that I can't access. And then I just give up because I'm like, I don't know what I'm trying to remember right now. And I just have to like let it go.
So a lot of times it is timeline change. Like, you're the memory when I try to remember something and from a different timeline, it doesn't resonate anymore. So it's trying to erase itself for me. Um, and the more you're gonna try to go like, well, what is it? What is it? It's like you don't want to go back to the timeline. So you just have to let go and go like whatever comes back, it's all gonna work out. I try when something becomes invisible in the timeline I am, and in I see it in a different timeline, I let it go and cut it. Don't try to figure it out because you don't want to bring that part. You just cut it. That's it. That's
Cut
it.
it.
Cut it.
Okay.
You just cut it and
Awesome.
say, hey,
I
you know
think
what?
that's
I don't
what
have to
I did.
understand it. It's not meant for you.
I think that's what I did because it's happened like 3 times and I'm like, okay, whatever. If I
Yep.
need you, you'll come back. If not, then bye bye.
Absolutely. Because timelines, when you change, we change timeline all the time. And that's why people, they forget stuff or they're like, I'm trying to remember the story of this. Every
Yeah.
time you try to remember a story, even when you're younger and all that, you're bringing back the story, have to do revision, stop bringing back stories. Like, if they don't belong in your life, let them, cut them, let them go. You can release them with a balloon. There's so many things you can do, but the worst thing is going back in the past. Only now exists in your timeline. So you can bring back the story and you're just giving it life again.
Right.
Beautiful.
I
Thank you
hate
for
it.
that. Love
Change your
that.
story, change your life. Just make
Yep,
that your
that's
motto.
absolutely Ashley.
Yeah.
Tried not to change my story and not to get on this podcast, but I'm back again.
Oh, but
That's
that's so for me, the frustration when I hear people telling me their story, it's like, why are you doing that? Why are you giving it energy? And I almost feel insensitive, like I'm throwing it under the rug, but I can't deal with it's I would say the word victim, but it's like someone that keeps telling me their story. Like we're not even there anymore. Like we're now. Let's be now. Let's just be in this moment. Okay, Kate. Kate has her
Oh,
hand raised
I
like
don't
a
even,
good student.
yeah, I know, right? I don't think this can make sense anymore because I thought about it after I finished. Is that
It's
like,
okay.
for some reason, like my mind just went to, you were talking about protection, and then my mind went to, well, like, what are we protecting ourselves from? Is it from like, and then the word astral plane came in. So, like, my question is that, is, are we, how do I want to say it? Is it like energy, like unseen energies that are just kind of interacting in our world that we obviously can't perceive, that you're talking about, that's just all over the place of, where we need to cut cords and protect ourselves because we're just kind of limited in our current abilities of being in the knowing of really what is really out there energetically? Is it like energies that are in like some kind of within the earth plane, I guess?
Okay.
Yeah, that's just like all over the place.
That's okay. Energy, when I say energy protection, sometimes it's energy protection from your own self. So you calling in protection, anything that doesn't serve you, if it's someone, if it's your own self, if it's a negative energy when you enter a house, or so it's all types of energy. We're all energy, everything is energy. So it doesn't matter where it comes from. If it doesn't fit you, if you call for protection and you believe in it, you're going to be safe. But a lot of times it's you protecting you from your own self of making up all these stories.
Yeah, it's just like, someone asked me on a trip that I just went, like what I do for protection. I just looked at her. I'm like, why would I think I need protection? I mean, I literally said that to her. I'm like, no, I like, if my energy is of such, like, don't
Yeah.
F with me, then don't, I mean, that's kind of like what I said to her. So now I'm sitting here thinking, oh, am I being that naive, or like, is it kind of,
Well, the more
a
you
mix?
elevate and the more you work on you, the more you return to your I am, the more you're going to be a target from lower energy that can't stand that you're changing, you're healing. So that's what really is dangerous is the people that you have in your family or your friends and all of that. It's like you can't just remove them out of, nowhere. So you're protecting yourself from lowering also. You keep your energy up and nobody can really cord you. So if you meet someone at the pharmacy and you feel bad for that person, oh, because they have a cold or and blah blah blah, or their story, and you're listening to them, and you're like, oh my God, my life is so you're
Yeah.
protecting yourself for that energy that is way low, lower than you. So a lot of times your energy will go lower just to fit that person and feel bad for them. So you go home and you're gonna start feeling bad for yourself, and something happens, or you're like, oh my God, like, and you're creating since you're not protecting, you're in a victim mode, and you'll just go like, oh well, I'm going to get into an accident or something, and you are going to get into an accident if you believe that, or I get to a road and I'm like, should I turn left or should I turn, like right, and I just go like, I'm going to do whatever, I'm protected. So instead of like, oh well, if I went right, I'm gonna have an accident, or or I should have went left. Doesn't matter what it is, you gotta protect yourself from energies because there's energy all over, and there's negative energy, lower energy. There is, and you just learn to do it. It's not like so you should protect. So you're gonna see less chaos and drama. You're gonna become more invisible to problems. So that's how I answer it. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Hopefully it
No,
does.
they
Yeah.
And
Okay.
as much as you love necklaces, Kate, and all the stuff you love, you'll love her necklaces. Janet, I think you want to talk
How do you know that?
because I just know you.
No, I'm listening, and I do have a confession. I never even listened to Qatar's podcast because I was finishing my book during that time. So I took a pause on listening to any podcast, but listening to Qatar, I feel like it's a soul sister, like when I connected with you, Ashley, because I said to her, I'm like, I don't know anything about it, but I want to connect. But what my interpretation, I've been doing energy protection since I was a little girl. I taught it to the kids since they were younger too. And it's synonymous with kind of like shifting timelines. That's actually a chapter in my book, Shifting Timelines. And like what Qatar was saying, like when you're at a different vibration, because we are energy beings, it's like think of it as like you're on like you're in a plane and you can just see the cars on the freeway, but you're on the plane, so the freeway, the cars that are there, they can't really get us in that sense. So the shifting timelines in itself is also a form of energy protection, but and the grounding is super, super, super important, especially as we're shifting into 2026 and everything is like life the way we know it is going to change completely. We have to ground because it is just about sustainability as us going through this process. And the other thing that I loved what you said, Qatar, the energy protection, the shifting timelines, and about, oh, this was really good, about you walking into a pharmacy and you're like, oh, you hear somebody's story, blah, 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 blah. The pity energy or feeling sorry at that moment, let me put it this way, your energetic condom goes off. Like holes.
Of course
That's
you would
so
say
true.
that.
Because you come back like, oh my God, I need to save. Because that's all we do is save, save, save people. So when somebody's at the
Exactly.
pharmacy, it's just like it becomes like normal. I need to save this
Yeah.
person. And they're like, no, I'm not saving it.
No, we're not saving anyone.
And
I think
it's okay not to save people.
no, and
Yeah.
saving is like similar to like what you said about having courage. It's the same kind of energy. Who are we to save?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Brave and courage. The
yeah,
doctor says that. He
I
tells
love
you
it.
he tells you have cancer and he's like, you need to be brave. So basically, he just told you won't make it.
Yeah.
He gave you that kind of energy instead of saying, you know what? Yep, anything is possible. It's up to you. So when they say
Exactly.
be brave, yeah, that really doesn't resonate with me.
Yeah.
It makes me sometimes really mad about doctors. I'm just like, you just basically told
Yeah.
a person that there's no choice, like and everything is in your power. Some people are gonna make it, some people it's all about you. Some people are gonna follow the horse this year. Some people just adopted that snake and they're gonna remake that year over and over because it's the snake
Mm-hmm.
was such a part of us that we want to shed, but we want to keep it in the house. Now when you're shedding, like get it out. Like people keep things from 20 years and I don't know what it's serving, but it's just telling the same story. Oh, well, this person did this to me and all of that. No, nobody did anything to you. You accepted to do that to you. So there's
That's
this
right.
really, really
Yep.
this power of like, I don't want to hear somebody's like, well, he broke up with me now. You kind of broke up with him. He just basically voiced it. So a lot of things we make it happen. It's just we got to get out of this being like, oh, poor me and poor, that doesn't help you. So this is where I have my talk with myself, like Qatar having a talk with Qatar, saying like, okay, now don't save this person. You know how many times in a day it comes in that somebody wants to be saved? I'm like, oh, not doing it. Before that, I was a firefighter for almost a year, but that's what I studied like at first, and I wanted to save the world. I understood it after. Why did I want to be? I love fire, by the way, but I always wanted to save people. That made me feel good. Well, now it makes me feel good to not save people, but to help them save themselves. Because saving people is you're just putting them lower and lower, and they always have to be saved. If it's not you, it's going to be somebody else. So I don't save people.
Yes. Does that mean not buying the Tory Burch snake sweater that just went on sale? Oh, good one.
No, you can buy it. I'm just saying, some people are going to be keeping the snake from 2025, and they're going to go like, well, this year is supposed to be the horse. The horse already left, so you better follow him. So it's not like, oh, the horse won't be waiting for you, saying like, oh, well, we're going to wait. When you want to elevate, anybody can elevate. So follow the horse and leave the snake at home in a container where you're going to probably put it in garbage. And physically, you have to do something like that sometimes, cutting the cord and putting something like the picture that you kept for 20 something years. And you go like, no, I'm done. You have to do the work. You have to return to your I am. And um, I think it's Janet that said something. Everything, protection and empowering yourself with your I am and grounding is the key, is the fuel. So you put gas in your car, but you do not put fuel. So your car, you protect your car, you clean your car. But when it comes to you, you just like, I don't need protection. I don't need this. I don't need that. You do. You need protection every day. That's
Will
sad.
you,
But it's true.
yeah, very, but will you, well, a couple more minutes, but the cord cutting. So, as in my experience in the last few weeks with watching Presley and Paige and myself and having Qatar being part of our life, cutting the cords, um, understanding it. And if you've listened to the episode, then I've kind of had her explain it a little, but I think this would open up a little bit of people's questions because I realize that if you're not, you explain it, Qatar, because I'm understanding it. Before I was like, what are you talking? Like I've always heard I've interviewed how many people about cutting cords, so we all understand that sentence.
Yep.
But when you understand it and I see it, it's this like I watched this instantaneously. And I think it's because my girls want that. They're like you say, like if you're like questioning it or like you're the victim to it and you want to keep having that cord on you. So you're going to keep playing that story, change your stories, change your life, that whole thing. Will you explain that, Qatar? Because I think that might instigate a couple more
Yeah.
people
So
understanding that because that is magic of what you do.
yeah. So today it happened a lot, as you know. I did a lot of cutting cords, with your own girls, and it shifted really fast because
Really
they were
fast.
ready
If
because of
anyone wants to
you.
text me or call me tomorrow, I'll tell you the story. But
Yeah,
what happened to me today in 2 hours was absolutely insane.
that's what cutting cords is. So
Okay.
when I work with someone, I can see the cords. But if I can cut the cord, but the people are going to cord back themselves. So if they're not aware, so if I do a session and I'm talking to someone and I tell them, well, this is what's going on in your life, with the cords and with the trauma, they might not resonate right away. And I think the work with Kennedy, and I'm not gonna discuss the subject, but she realized whatever I was talking about was completely different and angled in a different way. But I was cutting cords and it was coming out from her. So when I worked with Paige, it's the same thing, as it's just I see the cords, I cut them, and I could tell you that some people are ready, some people are not ready. So the one that are not ready for cutting cords of the trauma or whatever I see, I'm gonna go more like gentle, but cutting cords is real. Cutting cord is really like shifting you to a different timeline. Um, it's magical. You just wake up and you're like, oh my God, what happened? Or like the memory thing that like someone was talking about. That's exactly what it is. When you cut the cord, you allow the healing process and the awareness to start. And you can shift your timeline right away. Some people are going to take them months. Some people, it's going to cord back, but you're going to know the difference. You're going to go like, this is what I want. I need to cut the cord from something else that is not serving me and that's blocking me. So the cords usually are you cord yourself or people cord you, or it's also corded by a situation that that you're living. Could be a divorce, could be someone broke up with you, um, could be a car accident. So when there's a car accident, if we don't cut that cord, it's always going to come back in a different way. It's going to be the same feeling, could be a different, like sometimes they're like, well, it always comes in three or something. So when three accidents happen, they're like, oh, I'm safe now. You cut the cord right away when that accident happened, or, the event, or someone dies. And we make up these stories, we make up all these things that become rules in our life. So cutting cord is super important.
Yeah. Presley's coming in here really quick just to give
Okay.
her a little bit
Oh,
of
yeah.
a. It's okay. She just got out of the shower, but I just texted her. I said, come in and today was a big day.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. She
She
can
didn't
come
know
on
that there
in.
was a lot of people.
Already coded.
You're fine. She has her new monkey pajamas on for
Oh, that's so
Christmas.
cool.
They were
Hi.
like the most expensive present, believe it or not.
Oh my God.
But oh, wait, you can't hear.
Yeah, I can't hear.
Sorry. Now, can you hear? Can we hear?
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
can you?
there we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're talking about what Qatar has done. We don't need to go into details, but explain what happened in the last like 3 hours. You don't have to explain what happened, but
Yeah, the
what
story.
no, you don't have to tell the story. Just say what
Okay.
happened energy wise and what you've seen in Dad and me and Paige.
So the other night I made this presentation on like Keynote or whatever because I really wanted to do online school. And that is something that I've kind of felt like the past 6 months because I don't really connect with anyone at school and my classes are kind of a waste of time. Like I have to take stretching class if that says anything. But yeah, so I've felt like that. And so I made a PowerPoint presentation for my parents. And Qatar was kind of helping me through the whole thing.
Kind of.
No, she was very helping me with the whole thing.
I basically said, you're the CEO of your world. You present what you want.
Yes, you present what you want.
Yeah, and just like kind of helping me with like my mindset. I definitely would not have happened if it wasn't for Qatar. And
Why? Why do you think that?
because she taught me about like energy and how like I create my own reality. Like I can get whatever I want and I just have to put my mind to it. And I did, and I didn't give up. And so now I get to do online school today. I figured it out. So
And she negotiated, but also I said, if you get a no, it's okay. You're gonna get what you want, but not with anger. I said, it's gonna come back and you're gonna get it. and you trusted the process. And you remember, let's not do it on Saturday night, let's do it on Sunday. And I said, you're doing it on Saturday because there's a reason. And you did so well. You negotiated like a pro. So
Thank you.
we're gonna negotiate contracts soon, you know? You got that. You did
So,
well. I mean, the shifting was amazing.
so I'm just wanting for her to explain that because at 12 o'clock, today's the 5th, tomorrow school starts. And she did this full-on presentation for Richard and I about why the pros and the cons and why she wanted to do other things and school wasn't meant for her and she doesn't connect with these girls. And I totally get it because I hear it every single day. And her and Paige are different people. And so she does this online thing. I told Qatar, like, Richard's not on board. And she's like, let me work on him. I'm like, well, good luck. And then today I said, well, Dad's okay if we get our money back from the semester from Cathedral because it was like $12,000. And
And it was kind of like we knew it wasn't going to come
yeah,
back.
I knew they probably had a rule that
And I
because the year
knew it was
before,
gonna happen.
but Qatar did that. She knew
Yep.
it.
I was like, it's gonna happen. I
I
said, if
knew
you
I
did it,
couldn't give up.
No, she
yeah,
was so
no, you can't
determined.
give up because you assume that they're not gonna give it to you, and that's what happens. And I'm like, nope, this is
Right,
gonna happen if you really want it. And it did. And this is everything can change, the timeline can change. And you shifted timelines today, like you call it like a storm or whatever, but it's not. It's really you all shifted in the timeline, including your husband.
right. No, it was like when she was explaining timelines earlier, when you and Jana was talking, like my life today and the timeline, I'm like in a different life right now. Like my daughter doesn't go to school tomorrow. She's going to start school on Thursday. She has I've made her sign a contract. I don't mean make, but I want her to understand like it's this, we're waking up at 6, we're going to the gym, we're doing school from this to this. She's going to be busy from 12 to 5 doing volunteer and doing internships, she wants to do singing lessons and piano lessons and modeling classes to get prepared for this pageant she's doing in March. So she's going to be more busy doing this than she would have been sitting at school doing stretching and what else? All the
Basically
other
nothing.
school stuff. But she did it and she was determined. And I think, when you look at somebody like this child, who I would have been thinking, there's no way Richard's going to be on board. But as soon as I know Qatar said it, there was something like she had this energy in her, like she was not going to say no, or there was no acceptance. And I said, Presley, maybe we just do one more, semester. You're already junior. We're halfway through. Let's finish it out and then talk about it. She found this charter school like that. It was just like there was like no roadblock. So when there's no roadblock in life, it's meant to be. So I have this child that is new and alive and excited about life. And
And what
here we
did
go.
Richard say to you when you called him and talked about school and he said like just don't call me back on that?
Yeah,
Like
just I'm done. You guys figure it out. I'm done. Don't call me back.
so
But
that's
it was
what
a
cutting
good,
cords is too. We cutting him away from this
yeah,
and begin, oh well, let's do it in September. What's the difference in September? Like
right.
do it now or social media is not gonna change. She promised she won't be on social media and from
Yep.
9 to 5.
From
So
8 to 5, no social
yeah.
media.
Yeah. So I'm gonna push you to stay away from. We're gonna cut the cords with social media is toxic.
Right.
You don't need that. Like you
Yeah.
need to balance your energy, work hard to elevate and to be the best of the best
Right.
and stay in that timeline.
Right.
Yep. This
Yeah.
is amazing. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you.
In your pajamas with your hair like wet hair.
Yeah.
I just like got out of the shower.
No, it's good. Oh, anyway, so that was probably more information but I wanted you guys all to know like today was such a great example of really for her, like to when she had her mindset to that, she was like, there was a no, there was never a no. And I really thought there's no way dad's going to be okay with this. He's not going to say okay. There's no way the school, when I called today, is going to give us the money back. Like I just knew it was not going to happen. And it was like Qatar's like, yeah, they're gonna give you the money back. What
But
could Kennedy?
Ashley, who's
Yeah,
always teaching all of us that those are limiting
yeah,
beliefs.
right.
Cancel that, all that.
Cancel it. But in my head, with my limiting beliefs, in my head, I was thinking, here we are, we have an hour. I have 12 o'clock to call this school. And I'm thinking, I'm just doing it because I want her to hear the lady talk and say, sorry, we can't give the money back, and then she's on to that. And it was like, no, they were green lights for the rest of the two. It was like all green lights. It was so cute. Anyway, that's our little story, but it was really cool. And Kennedy at dinner that night, um, we started it like, why are you,
Oh,
why?
on so yeah, I saw them on the first, which was a great way to start the year, which I said earlier. But um I think I mean I've always got the vibe from Presley that school wasn't really. Oh, sorry. My daughter's on a Zoom too.
Oh,
Let me shut the door.
Is Kennedy your sister?
My daughter is
no.
on a Zoom call. I was being a little loud.
Kennedy is not my sister, whoever asked that.
Oh, I did.
Soul
Oh,
sister, soul
yeah.
sister. um, so I don't know. I just always got the vibe from Presley that school. I don't know. I just kind of had this feeling, and so when we were at dinner and talking, I was like, well, you could do this. I mean, she literally, her eyes lit up. Like, wait, there's a possibility that I might not have to go to school. And actually, we talked about this a year ago. Ashley and I did. I feel like, or maybe it was a little bit more than that, about her just not working and not going in the way that, um, you know, she's different, and I think there was so much energy around her that wasn't like serving her. And, there's other ways to accomplish, getting your high school diploma. And it probably, like, timing was probably right. But what's interesting is I actually had hesitated in making time, and I had, we were texting back and forth, and I said, well, let's make plans. And then I was planning on seeing her, like, first or
Hey,
second
I'm
week of
still listening
January.
to this call, but I'm going to finish dinner.
And so I ended up going down, and yeah, I mean, I think the school thing's interesting because obviously, like, their semesters and stuff like that, but they could have easily said no to not the refund, or making that adjustment and stuff. But I just, Presley's energy changed in that moment we were talking, and her energy, obviously, like, I don't know how to, was greater than yours and Richard's because
Right.
you know
Well, she was already in the
so
timeline. She's going online. She
Right.
made that
right.
decision, made that story, and she was not putting up with anybody's no. She already said, I'm going to online.
Right.
That was it.
For
Yeah,
sure. That is exactly what happened
like
because
mom and dad are coming along.
there is no way. Yeah. So anyway, that was cool. But thank you for all listening to that. I just the power of your focus, your intention, where your energy flows, like when you want something and you know it's right and it just all comes together. That was our magic moment today. So
Well, it's like it's Presley's I am, right?
Yep. She
Yeah.
stayed in it. And but also
yes, you
cutting the cords from all the negative around the online. Because there's a lot of negative around the online. Her schedule is, she showed me her schedule that she's gonna be doing, like, but that is packed compared to school. So, she's determined. And I said, if you don't follow all of this, you got to go back to school in September. So you got to stay in
Yep.
check. But it's all amazing. So please, tomorrow, the no more shifting timeline. I need a break tomorrow. Don't go online.
Oh, anybody else want to share anything? Thank
Oh,
you all for being here. What?
I want to share Morocco
Oh
because
yeah, share Morocco.
Jackie and Carol are coming, so that's confirmed. So we're gonna do. I'm so excited. So even if
I'm coming.
we're on, well, you're coming too, and but like this is so amazing. Like just having worked with Jackie and Carol and things, and I worked with their son. Like, I mean, I never met someone that said to me, "You're not gonna get in my head." But that was funny because I was like, "Haha, I'm not getting in your head. I'm getting in your energy." But he's so intelligent. He's tried to, the boxing, but it was an amazing um session with him and seeing these just moving, and I see, Carol doing so great in what she believes in. And that what makes me want to do more, and seeing all the change in everyone that I worked with. Sorry if I'm forgetting someone. um but seeing all of that makes me elevate. It makes me want to ground more people and help them move into their I am and their own energy to be successful. And I think Janet does already that in her own ways, because that's, I could see her energy like shifting in the same way that we do. We all have gifts. Like, you don't see them, but we're all going to figure out which one it is. Took me years. Mine was control at first. For many years, that was my gift. I was stuck in the control. So when I accepted to get away from the control, I saw my real gift. So does that make sense?
It does. I love it.
So that's it.
Any last words of enlightenment or elevation?
Yep.
Or thank you all. So fun to see you all. Thank you for being here. Jackie, hi. I'm so glad you got on late. Nice to see you.
I totally missed the time change.
Okay.
I was like, oh, it's 8. No.
I'll put it on my YouTube so you'll get to watch it. It's worth watching too.
Awesome. Thank
Yep.
you.
You're welcome.
Yes, definitely.
Anyway, thanks everybody. Good to see you.
Ashley. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kawtar.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for listening. And before we leave, everybody, please cut your cord of 2025. No matter what it is. I don't want to hear the story.
You just
I don't
cut
want
it.
you to do this. Cut your 2025. It doesn't
Done.
matter. And stop telling the story how 2025 was bad. We don't need that. It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it is. It's
Yep.
done.
It is.
And thank you everyone for, participating. It's very it's empowering. This energy is amazing, today. So, and thank you, Ashley, for pulling me in and for doing all the magic that you've been doing for years.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Ashley.
Oh, you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you. Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.
Good night.